We all know that FC26 comes out on many different platforms, but not all the platforms are created equal. You've got your next-gen platforms like an Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Switch 2, and PC as well. I know a lot of people don't consider them next-gen platforms anymore, but for today's video I'll call them next-gen. Then you've got the older-gen platforms like a PS4 and Xbox One. The next-gen version has exclusive features that helps it stand out when compared to the old-gen version, and today we're going to take a look at some of those next-gen exclusive features. This is part 3 in the series. If you enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe. We are so close to 310,000 subscribers, 2,136 to go. Please tell your friends to subscribe to the channel as well. Hair is better in the next gen version because this game features strand hair technology if you're playing on a next gen platform. There's a lot of players in the game that have this technology. We'll take a look at some of them today. The first one is Haaland. As you can see, when he moves around, the hair at the back moves accordingly. You'll notice this more in replays or if you go into instant replay and slow it all down. This hair strand technology means that you're going to get realistic hair movement when a player runs around on the field. It's a nice visual feature to have in the game and makes things look realistic. Let's take a look at Modric now, who has longer hair. His hairstyle has individual strands that move in different ways as he jumps up and down and does different movements, and also when he's running around the field. So like I said, if you're playing this and you're looking at the normal camera angle during gameplay, you're not going to really notice this, but you will notice this more in instant replay or just normal matchday replays. You might even notice it in celebrations and other matchday cutscenes. You can see so many individual strands and they all move in different ways, which is cool. Not every player is going to have strand hair technology, but a lot of them do. If a player doesn't have it, it means that their hair won't move as they do movements in the game. Messi's a player that has strand hair technology. As he moves his head, as he runs around the field, his hair moves in different ways. So it's a nice feature to have in the game. It's another one of those visual features, but it does make the game look more realistic. Let's take a look at the PS4 version now. This is the old gen version of the game. There's no strand hair technology here, but some hairstyles will move, so you'll notice that in the game, but it sort of moves as one whole piece rather than individual strands. So that's the main difference. But you can see that there's definitely a graphics upgrade between the PS4 and the PS5 version of the game. Messi's hair does move slightly in the PS4 version of the game, but the PS5 version just takes it to the next level because of that strand hair technology. So I guess some players on PS4 will have hair that moves, but it's not really strand hair technology. Obviously the PS5 version is so much better than this. Let's take a look at Modric's hair in the old gen version as well. So like Messi's hair, he does have some parts of the hairstyle that move, but the PS5 version takes it to the next level. It's not really a big deal, but it's a visual thing and it does make a difference if you're comparing graphics. Net physics are better in the next gen version of the game. Every time the ball hits the back of the net, it's going to look so nice because the next gen version has a feature I think that's called 3D nets. The nets will behave differently according to the shot power and maybe the way the ball hits the net and where it hits the net. This is so nice to look at. Every time you score a goal, it looks so satisfying, and it's something you'll notice as you play the game. Sometimes the ball will come back out of the net, sometimes it will stay in the net. Anyway, let's take a look at the old gen version now. I thought the net physics would be worse in the old gen version, but it's actually not too bad. The next gen version still looks better though, of course. This is a smaller detail in the grand scheme of things, but it still matters because realistic nets make goals feel more satisfying and visually believable. Lighting is also better on the next gen version of FC26. Take a look at this comparison here. The top is the first minute of a match, the bottom is the start of the second half, and you can see that the lighting has changed because we've got different shadows on the field now. Of course, this depends on what time you start a match in the game. If you're playing a match scheduled for the afternoon, then you'll see more of this feature. If you play a night match, then you probably won't notice this much. But in this example, it does look like the sun moved throughout the match. You can see a stadium roof shadow in the bottom photo as well. So it goes to show that there is dynamic lighting in the game and it will change throughout the match. This is a second comparison here. The top photo is the second minute of a match and the bottom one is the 58th minute. You can see that we've got two different shadows here on the field, and that means that basically the sun has moved and the lighting has changed because of that. So that's pretty cool. As you play the game, you won't see the same thing throughout the whole match, and it's realistic as well because in real life, you don't have the same shadow on the field for the whole match. So once again, this is a visual thing, but it's still important because lighting affects everything you see on the pitch. Lighting in general just looks so much better on the next gen version. It's more natural, it's brighter at times, and there's more realistic colors. The PS4 version can look a little bit dull at times, not as vibrant. After playing both versions, I don't think the lighting on the old gen version looks that good. Things just look more natural on the next gen version. Whether it's a day match or a night match, the next gen version looks noticeably better overall. Pitch wear and tear is more prominent in the next gen version of the game. Take a look at the grass when a match starts. It hasn't been chopped up yet, so it still looks nice and clean. But by the time you get to the 90th minute though, you'll see the grass looking chopped up because players were doing slide tackles or running around the field. You'll definitely notice a lot of footsteps on the grass. I guess that's realistic as well because in real life there's pitch wear and tear as players do different things on the field. And once again, it is a visual thing, but it's nice to look at as you're playing the game. This is what the old gen version looks like. There is a bit of pitch wear in certain areas on the field, but it's not as prominent like it is in the next gen version. It definitely looks better in the next gen version of the game. Take a look at this example at the Man City Stadium. As you can see, there's a bit of pitch wear. There's patches in certain areas on the field. This might not be as noticeable on the old gen version. The next gen version of the game has a feature called cloth simulation. What does that mean? It means that players' kits fold, stretch, and wrinkle around the body as players sprint, turn, or collide. You're going to see subtle creases at the chest, waist, and shoulders when players twist or raise their arms or do other movements in the game. The shirt can cling to the body realistically. As you can see in this example, if you take a look at the player's kit, you can see how it wrinkles up. I'm sure the PS4 version has some sort of cloth simulation, but obviously it'll be more prominent on the PS5 version. We will take a look at the PS4 version soon, but once again, it's not a big thing, it's just basically a visual thing. And you probably would not even notice it much unless you actually went into the instant replay and slowed it down. I'm on the old gen version of the game now, and as you can see, there is a bit of cloth movement. You can see it there, but it is more prominent on the next gen version. I think the kits fit the players better in the next gen version as well. But to be fair, the PS4 does have a bit of cloth movement. And like I said earlier, it's not really a big thing anyway. It's more of a visual thing. The next feature I'm going to talk about is something called slide marks. Slide marks can occur after you do slide tackles. The slide tackle may leave a mark on the floor. I'll do some random slide tackles and then we'll take a look at the field after. It also happens when players slide during a celebration. Anyway, let's open up Highlighter and let's take a look at the slide marks. Okay, so take a look at this example here. Number 3 goes down for the slide tackle and there is some pitch damage after that slide. Take a look at this example. Number 10 goes in for the slide tackle and after the slide tackle, there's slide marks that stay on the grass for the rest of the match. During the instant replay, the slide marks are already on the floor, but during normal gameplay, they would appear after the tackle. So you can imagine if you did like hundreds of slide tackles, you would see a lot of slide marks on the floor. I'm on the PS4 version of the game now, and we'll just take a look at some examples. So this is the first slide. I can sort of see some lines where the player slid, but it doesn't look like slide marks like it did on the PS5. Here's another example. There's a slide tackle that occurs here, and there's no slide marks after. You might see a line or two along the grass. So there is slight pitch damage, but it doesn't really look like slide marks. Thank you to my channel members Callum and Wing for your support. If you want your name featured here, check out the link in the description and become a channel member today. Please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe.